Hi, and welcome to this edition of Everything Home. Today on our show, we're going to leave all the tools behind, and we're going to go into the kitchen and teach you how to deep fry a turkey. Now, this is one of my favorite ways to make a turkey because it always turns out moist and it's fast. Because when I'm hungry, I don't want to wait 5 hours for a turkey to cook. Now, on average, a turkey will cook in oil at 325 degrees for 3.5 minutes per pound of turkey, which is awful fast when you're hungry. So let's get started. The first thing we want to do is talk about the actual pot and heating mechanism that we're going to use to deep fry the turkey. Now, you can purchase these from anywhere from $45 to about $60 at most major hardware stores or home improvement stores, and even a lot of grocery stores will sell them during the holiday time or before Thanksgiving. Now, most of these units that you purchase are going to come with the pot and also the burner unit. Now, you've got your regulator for your propane, and then you're going to see it goes, you've got a timer on these now, and this is a safety feature that they added. The earlier models used to not have timers on them, and then you have your actual burner unit itself. And what the timer does is it sets for 15 minutes, so the burner unit will only stay on for 15 minutes at a time, and then you have to reset the timer. This is a safety feature so you don't overheat your oil and have it boil over and then catch on fire. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is take your turkey out of the packaging, and you're going to want to make sure that the turkey is at room temperature. So you're going to want to defrost it, and then you're going to want to let it warm up to room temperature. It's very important because the warmer the turkey being at room temperature, when you put it into the oil, you're going to have less splatter of the grease. And then you're going to want to take out all the giblets, the neck, and everything else. Once you have the turkey out, you're going to want to check because a lot of them are held together where the legs and everything are bound together by a plastic piece. Now, you're going to want to remove that plastic, or if there's a plastic temperature gauge in it, you're going to want to take that out too because that will melt in the hot grease. So you don't want to have any of these plastic pieces that are actually holding the turkey together in there. Otherwise they will melt in your oil, and you don't want that to happen. Now that the turkey's out of the bag, the next thing we're going to want to do, and this is very important, we're going to want to take the turkey and put it on the turkey holder, and that just slides in through the neck and then holds it just like that. Okay, now that you've got your turkey out of the package and onto that and into the pot, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fill the pot with water now. And the reason for this, we're going to fill the pot to about 1 inch above the turkey itself. And then once we've done that, we're going to take the turkey out, let the water drain off of it, and then you're going to take the water in the pot and you're going to measure that water. And then what you're going to do is once you've measured the water, you're going to dry out, really good, dry out the inside of the pot so there's no water in it, and then you're going to pour in that same amount of oil as water that you pulled out. And the reason for this is that way you don't want to fill your pot all the way up with oil and then put your turkey in it and have the oil bubble up and overflow and catch on fire. So take your turkey now, stick it in the pot, put the water in, and then take it out and measure it, and then we'll get started on the cooking of it. Okay, the next thing we're going to be doing is lighting our burner unit. On this unit, what we're going to have to do is we're going to turn the timer on, and we've got the gas turned on. Now, this has another safety feature too. You're going to have to push this button in, and what it has is a heating element here that once this gets hot enough, it'll let it know that then the gas can stay on because there's a flame there. So we're going to push that in and light the burner. And we're going to hold this down for about 1 minute. And after 1 minute, it's going to warm that up and it's going to know that the gas is on. So if we turn it off too soon, then the gas flow will stop and turn that off. Now that we have it on, we've got it on high, and we've measured out our oil. We're going to put the oil on top and start heating our oil. Now you want to make sure you do this outside because if you have a grease fire, you don't want to be cooking inside with this. And we're going to heat this oil up to 325 degrees, and And once it gets to that hot, then we're going to be putting the turkey inside. Okay, now that we've taken the turkey out, we've measured the oil, and we've got that all started, the oil's warming up. The next thing we want to do is prepare the turkey to go into the oil. Now the first thing you want to do is make sure that you dry off the turkey best you can. Either use a paper towel or a towel and dry off the turkey inside and outside. You want to get as much water off of it as possible so that when you put it into the hot oil, the oil doesn't bubble up as much. The next thing you're going to want to do too is season the turkey. Now I'm going to leave that up to you because everybody can make it Cajun. You can add just salt and pepper. Whatever you want to do that you normally do to spice a turkey, you can do that for a deep fried turkey. But what we want to do next, and I just use wire or picture wire, whatever you want to use, as long as it's not something that's going to melt in the hot oil. You're going to want to tie the legs up together. Then you're also going to want to tie the wings into each other. So what I usually just use to tie the wings together is a little picture wire. And basically, I just put that up like that, tie them in nice and tight. And the wire is not going to melt. Just wrap it, and then cut off the excess. And you've got that held in nice and tight. I'm going to do the same thing for the legs. We're going to pull those in tight like this with some wire. Now I know you traditional cooks will use something different, but I always have wire lying around, so that's the easiest thing for me. So we're going to tie these legs together like that. And I know for a fact that the wire is not going to melt in the hot oil. So now we've got the turkey all set. Like I said, you get it spiced however you want. Get the legs tight so they don't flop open. And we're ready to go put this inside the hot oil. You can see the oil is starting to heat up. We're going to bring that up to 325 degrees. Okay, now we've got it heated up to 325 degrees. It's time to put the turkey in. Okay, now that the oil's reached 325 degrees, before we actually put the turkey in, we're going to want to turn the gas off to the burner. And the reason we do this is when you lower the turkey in, that way if it does actually, the oil boils over, it doesn't hit the flames and actually start a grease fire. Okay, now that the oil's hot, we're going to be dunking the turkey in there. You're going to want to make sure that you put on your glove so that none of the oil will splash up and hit you, just in case it boils up. What we're going to do is we're going to slowly lower the turkey in. We're going to go in about a quarter and then pull it back out. Go down another quarter, pull it back out, and then totally submerge it into it. You want to put the lid back on with your temperature gauge in there. We're going to cook it at 325 degrees for 3.5 minutes per pound of turkey. Okay, so we've turned the gas back on. We'll put our lighter in there. Start the flame back up. And reset the timer for 15 minutes. Now this is a 17-pound turkey. We're going to be cooking it for almost an hour. Remember, it's about 3.5 minutes at 325 degrees per pound of turkey. Now that we've cooked it for about an hour for this 18-pound bird, the next thing we're going to do is turn off the gas. Now that we have the gas turned off, we can actually lift the turkey out. Okay, with the burner off, now we're going to take off the lid. We're going to lift the turkey out of the oil now. Okay, as you lift the turkey out, you want to make sure all the oil drains out of the cavity. Once all that oil is drained out, you're going to lift the bird out and set it on a platter. Okay, now that the turkey's done, we're going to want to take it off of the rack. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut our little pieces of wire. Take those off like that. Pull this off. We're ready to slice it and enjoy some deep fried turkey. Now trust me, this is going to be very, very hot. Now it's time to enjoy probably some of the best turkey you've ever had. Man, that is good. We'll see you next time on Everything Home TV.